Today's word is kind of a run-on word, yes sir. And you hear yes sir and yes ma'am and no sir and no ma'am a lot in the South, but you really don't hear it that much in other places. I have a very good friend of mine who uses yes sir and yes ma'am, no sir and no ma'am now as an adult, even as she's talking to other adults. It's just a part of who she is. It endears her to many, and it's just the way she was raised. It's in her genetics, I think, that she says yes sir. That's what she says. And we were talking one day this past week, and she was even saying that that's our communication to the Lord. A lot of times if she'll sense the Spirit nudging her to do something, she says yes sir. And I've got to be honest with you, at first I thought, wonder what kind of relationship that is like with the Lord. It sounded, initially to me, it sounded like having a heavenly drill sergeant. That's what my mind immediately went to. Hearing from God and saying, yes, sir, and just doing that. But as I began to really process it with him in prayer, he shifted my mind and he said, I'm your heavenly Father. So think about what you respond to your children like when they say to you, yes, ma'am. And I stopped and I thought about that and I thought, when I'm trying to ask my children to do something and they simply respond to me and say, yes, ma'am, and do it, which doesn't happen near as much as I wish it would, but occasionally it does happen. In those instances, what they're really saying to me is, Mom, I'm not questioning you. I'm not going to ask why. I may or may not understand it, but I'm trusting you that you know what is best for me by the request that you're making. And so in just blind obedience, I'm submitting control to you and I am trusting you and I'm saying, yes, ma'am, I'm going to get the task done. And that just puts me in such a favorable position with my children. That is a relationship that I want with God. When he gives me a nudge, when he tells me something, I want to be able to say, yes, sir, and just do it. Trusting, giving up control, and knowing that he has my best interest and gaining favor and keeping a wonderful sense of community with my Heavenly Father. So, if you hear God tell you to do something or nudge you in a little way, I encourage you, don't ask him, don't analyze it, don't say why, just say yes, sir, and see what happens. That's your word for day 19.